9. Today we're going to be talking about the percent of change. So the last few lessons we've been talking about finding the percent of a number. We've been doing it different ways by setting up a proportion, a percent equation, and also by doing some mental math by trying to get something close and figuring it out in our heads. So we've done those different activities with percents. So now we're going to go ahead and find the percent change. So from one time to another time, our number is changing, and we're going to go ahead and find the percent of what that change is. So basically the percent of change is the percent of an amount that has increased, which is called the percent of increased, or decreased, so 4% of decrease, in relation to the original amount. So all of this change is all related to the original amount. So basically, we're going to set up our equation as the percent of change is equal to the amount of change, so the difference between the two numbers, over the original amount. Now, the percent of change can be positive and negative because sometimes we're decreasing, so from time. So if our sales decrease, then obviously our percent of change is going to be negative because we're going down. So it's okay if you end up with negative numbers, just deal with them like positive numbers and you're going to get a negative at the end. Alright, so let's go ahead and do a few examples. Let's look at example number 1. It says find the percent change from 56 inches to 63 inches. So first of all, the first step is that we're going from 56 to 63. So we know that our percent change is increasing. It's positive. So we know our answer is going to be positive because we're getting bigger. So now the next step we need to go ahead and do is subtract the new amount from the old amount. So we're going to do 63 minus 56. And we're going to get 7. So now we have our change and we have our original number. So we can set up our percent change. So we have the percent change is equal to 7 over 56. Now as soon as we divide it, we're going to get a decimal. So we're going to go ahead and get 0.125, and it kind of goes on. And then we're going to go ahead and change it to a percent. So since we're finding the percent change your decimals to a percent at the end. We're going to move our decimal 2 places to the right, because remember we want to move it 2 places because percent means per 100. And anytime you're multiplying or dividing by 100, it always means you're moving 2 places one way or the other. Okay, so we're going to move it 2 places to the right, and also think to the right, you're moving towards the percent sign, so you're making it a percent. So our percent of change is 12.5%. Now, comes the chances that when you get to the end and you see the percent change, you want to look back at the original and say, isn't it a reasonable answer? Did I really find something that's close? Am I on the right track? So first of all, I realized that from going to 56 to 63, that isn't much of a change. So I know that my percent is going to be pretty small because I'm not doing much of a change here. So 12.5% looks about right to me. So I know that I probably did the right thing, which I did. Alright, let's go ahead and look at number 2. It says find the percent change from 24 points to 28 points. So first of all, I see that we're going from a smaller number to a bigger number. So we are increasing over time. And also what I know is that my percent is going to be kind of small because I'm not moving very many points at all. Because now I need to find the difference. So I have 28, which is the new number, minus the old number, which is 24. We're going to get 4. So now if we want to find our percent change, we're going to have 4, which is the difference, over the original, which is 24. And once you divide it, you're going to get 0.16 repeating. So now what's left is that we have to move our decimal 2 places to the right. And since this is 6 repeating, we can write it out a little bit. We can move our decimal 2 places to the right. And our percent is going to be 16.7%. And rounding to the nearest tenth is fine. So 16.7%. Alright, number 3. We have in 1980 there were 113 female warrant officers. In 2003 there were 854. So we're going to go ahead and find the percent change. So first of all, I notice that I'm going from 113 to 854. So this is going to be a positive increase. My percent is going to be positive because I'm getting bigger. So now let's go ahead and find the difference. So we have the new number, which is 854, minus the old number, which is 113. And we are going to go ahead and get 741. Alright? So now we're going to go ahead and find the percent change by putting it into the equation. So by solving for the percent change, we have to put the difference first. 741 over over the original, which is 113. Now, one thing I've noticed is that my numerator is bigger than my denominator, so I'm going to get a pretty big percent because I am moving up even more. Our number is gaining more than what our original number even was. So it's more than doubled. So we know that our percent is going to be big. So if we get something that's over 100%, then we're probably on the right track. Alright, so once you go ahead and divide that, you're going to get 6.557. Alright, so now we need to go ahead and move our decimal 2 places to the right. We're not done yet. So we're going to move it 2 places, and we're going to have about 655.7%. So it's over 100%, and we've increased a whole bunch, so this is probably correct, which it is. Alright, let's go ahead and look at number 4. It says, which class had the greatest percent of increase in enrollment from the fall term of 2000 to the fall term of 2003? So first of all, we have our question. We want to know who has the greatest percent increase. Okay? And then we also know that we have 4 classes, and this is fall of 2000 and fall of 2003. So basically, we're going to be doing our problem like this, except we're going to be doing it 4 times. We're going to do once for each class. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and organize my information by class. So I'm going to write an F here for freshman, and I'm going to go ahead and do my work. So I'm going to have to subtract the new from the original. So we have 2384 minus 2289, which we're going to get 95. And then we're going to put that change, so 95 over the original, which is 2289. And we are going to get 0.0415. Now we need to go ahead and change it to a percent. So we're going to move it 2 places to the right. So I'm going to move up 4.15%. So I'm going to go ahead and just write it here to the side. 4.15%. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and do the same process for my sophomores. So S. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract the new from the original. So 1632 minus 1656. Now one thing I'm noticing right away is that we decreased from the fall of 2000 to the fall of 2003. So guess what? Our percent is going to be negative, and that's okay. Don't think you did something wrong. It's just that's the way things work in this problem. So you're going to go ahead and get negative 24. So now we have to put negative 24 over the original number, which is 1656. And your percent is going to be negative. Okay, so you're going to get negative 0.01449. So now let's go ahead and move our decimal place. Moving it 2 places to the right, so it's going to be negative 1.4% about. So about negative 1.4%. So first of all, when I look at this, it's a negative number, so we know that that's not the greatest. So I can already cross this one off. So start eliminating possibilities. So now let's go ahead and do the math for juniors. Okay, so we have to subtract the new from the original. So 1757 minus 1707, and we are going to go ahead and get 50. So now let's go ahead and put our change, or our difference. We have 50 over the original, which is 1707, and we are going to go ahead and get 0.02929. So now we need to go ahead and move our decimal 2 places to the right, and we are going to get 2.9% about. So far I see that freshman's in the lead. So let's go ahead and check the seniors and see if we're going to still stay in the lead. So this is the seniors. Okay, we have to subtract the new, which is 2507, minus the original, 2429, and we are going to go ahead and get 78. So now we need to go ahead and divide 78 by the original. So we have the difference divided by the original, 2429. And we are going to go ahead and get 0.03211. So let's move our decimal 2 places to the right. We're going to have 3.2%. So now I see that by doing all of that math, we could say that the freshman had the greatest amount of increase. All right? Now, go ahead and try the on your own problems, and if you run into any hiccups or any problems, or even when you just look at the problems you're not sure what to do, go back, rewatch the video. You can also go back into your textbook, and there are examples that are already done for you, and if you want to try to figure those out a little bit or try to figure out your questions before you get to class, it would be awesome. But if you have questions and you can't answer them yourself, please bring them to class. I'll be happy to answer them for you, and we will get that done for you. Alright, let's go ahead and do the on your own question. Alright, you have 3 problems to do for me. Numbers 1 and 2, just go ahead and find the percent change. And number 3, it says in 1993 there was 1 computer for every 16 students. In 2003, the number of students per computer was 4.9, or 4 9/10. Find the percent change. Alright, good luck. Let's see what you get tomorrow.